Okay, so for this video, we're going to start out. The question that was asked was sort of the challenge that was presented was we need to have a player. We want them to fight the enemies. There's several spawn locations that they can run into, and so if they're not taking care of the enemies in a timely fashion and they're trying to run through the stage, the enemies are going to keep spawning and accumulating. So this is that scenario. For time's sake, I've already done most of the triggers on the other blocks. I picked this closest one, and I've done the same thing for all of them. So for brevity, I will just demonstrate this one, and keep in mind, this is what I've done for all the blocks. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this started. First thing we need, so this is our trigger area. We need to say that when this is entered by me, player 1, that we need to generate a wave, and that wave that's already been configured is just 2 of these little ugly bear things. So that will kick off 2 ugly bears. Now we don't want them to appear all the way over here, so you also need a new locator connection, and we'll connect it to this locator so that they spawn there instead. And finally, what we need to do is tell it that when a wave is generated, let's go ahead and turn this box off so that I don't keep triggering it over and over again. Now what you can do for this, you can use a logic gate solution. Sometimes that's recommended. This is a very simple, straightforward example. We're not really dealing with events happening and needing to turn off things normally associated with logic gate, so I'm keeping it pretty straightforward for this little tutorial. So now what should happen here is, since trigger areas are all active by default, when I start walking through here, like let's say this is my cave, walking into the cave and a bear spawns, I go through these areas, and as I walk through them, enemies start to trigger and kick off, and I slowly get to the point where more and more of these guys start to pile up on me. Now as you can see, once I've already gone through the area, it will not respawn because I've set it to turn the trigger area off at that point. One other little piece of information. I'm trying to think of what it was. Oh yeah, so the enemies are spawning a little slow. One thing that we can do to speed that up a little bit is in the wave configuration, or in the properties, we can turn generation delay down to 1 or 0, disable the generation effects, and then that should make our enemies spawn really fast. So there you go. I hope that's a helpful example for your arena or whatever you're trying to build, and I will catch you later. Thanks for tuning in.